Hello, I'm Michael, and I'm co-founder of Sussex Paranormal Society. This is number 10 in a series of instructional videos we've been doing on YouTube, and what we're going to talk about today is basically how to prevent yourself from making common mistakes that you end up thinking you've got something paranormal and you actually don't. So that's what we call a false positive. Lots of people out there get false positives. It's an accident. You put it online, you show it to all your friends and family, you say, look what I captured, this is paranormal. That's no problem. A mistake is a mistake, an honest mistake. There are other people out there that are unscrupulous and have no morals and or are lacking in moral fiber, and what they do is they manufacture evidence because they can't capture any on their own without doing something kind of underhanded to deceive the public and show them something that actually they didn't actually capture. Not mentioning any names, but YouTube happens to be loaded with a tremendous amount of videos that say, just to give you a quote, "Ghost Girl caught it on film, 100% real." Yeah. One of the other ones might be poltergeist phenomenon, caught it on film, 100% real. Actually, those are usually 100% fake. And they're not false positives. They're being generated to capture more hits on YouTube, make the person who's doing it feel more popular, more desirable, whatever they're after. They definitely get a lot of hits because they're deceiving people into thinking that they're actually going to view something paranormal. Well, for people in the actual paranormal field, such as parapsychologists, paranormal investigators, and various other people that are in the research area of the paranormal, are actually out here really trying to capture evidence of the paranormal. And in the events that they do capture that, one of the outlets is television and or the internet for people to be able to view what they've captured. Of course, nowadays, because of this onslaught of fake paranormal stuff that they're doing, you have to sort through hundreds, if not thousands, of fake videos before you finally get to something that was actually done by a qualified paranormal investigative group or by someone who's actually involved in a qualified manner in the parapsychology and or paranormal investigative field. What we're going to do today, really quickly, is try to help you not make those mistakes, those of you who are honestly making mistakes versus those who are underhandedly making false and falsified evidence to make themselves look better or more important or whatever they're after. Okay, one of the things we're going to talk about first is your lens. Lots of people know that when they're capturing what we call spirit orbs, a lot of times that's not a spirit orb. A lot of times what you're actually capturing is dust on your lens. There's a really inexpensive device here, not even a device, a tool I would say. It's an anti-static brush. There are many companies that manufacture these. One such company is Hama. And you can usually get these at any photo shop or where they sell cameras and handy cams and other devices such as those. And what you do with that is that anti-static brush brushes off any of the dust that might be on your lens. Also, it provides, it removes any static that's built up so it won't attract more dust. Also, there's a puffer on the end here that will blow air to also disperse any of the dust that might be hiding there on your lens, therefore making sure that when you do capture something in the way of an orb on your camera, that it's not dust particles. Of course, there are other atmospheric challenges that you have when it comes to capturing spirit orbs on film or on digital material. Basically what's going to happen here is if there is any moisture in there, you can also get droplets built up on your lens, and in that event you might have little droplets. So it's a good idea to always check to make sure you don't have any moisture and or dust, once again, on your lens. Now, I've also got some photos here today, some pictures to actually show you of some of the stuff that we've been able to manufacture ourselves just to see what common household items can cause you to think you're capturing something paranormal when you're actually not. Take a look at this one right here. If you can see this, hopefully you can. This is fake ectoplasm. Now, what we did was, because we see so many fakes out there, we want to make sure that we can tell the difference between a fake and a real photo, which is very, very extremely difficult these days. This is made with cigar smoke, basically. So you'll see here what appears to be manifestation taking place. It looks like ectoplasmic material here floating in the air there. That's actually smoke. Common cigarette or cigar smoke is one of the ways that you can actually end up with something on a film, on a snapshot you've taken, and you think it's paranormal. It's actually because someone was smoking right next to you, or you're holding a cigarette in your hand while you're filming or doing whatever you're doing, and this is what you'll commonly get with that. Secondly, here's another one. This is ectoplasm. It almost looks like we can see a face here. A really big protruding nose, a mouth, eyes, a face, and this ectoplasmic looking material here, that's also smoke. The idea is, when you look at something and you see a face in it, it's almost like looking at the clouds, seeing faces in the clouds, and commonly that's what we call matrixing. It's where the mind actually is causing you to think that there's a facial structure in it because the brain tries to put different things into a perspective that the human being can understand, and that would be the shape of another human face or something like that. And smoke and trees and clouds and other places you might be able to matrix, experience what we call matrixing and see something that looks like a face, but it's not. Now I'm going to move down here and show you a couple more little things here real quick. Now when it comes to orbs again, once again you might be able to see these. There's quite a bit of orbs in this photo. If I didn't know any better, I think that can't possibly be dust. That must be the spirits of many, many people. Being as it's near a fireplace, that could be a hint that there's something not so quite right about it. The picture here, same thing. You've got tons and tons of orbs. I've seen many, many spirit orb pictures like this, where the people actually believe that these are spirit orbs. What we did to manufacture this here is we took a duster, a regular household duster, and we shook that duster a few seconds before we took the photograph. And when we took the photo, of course, the dust particles were there. And they come in different colors. Some of them appear to have faces in them, smiley faces, angry faces. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. Basically, this is what you can get. Now, we're not saying that there is no such thing as ectoplasm. I believe there is. We're not saying there is no such thing as spirit orbs. I believe strongly there are. I believe that a lot of times, commonly, many times, people are mistaking dust particles, atmospheric events, for what we would call spirit orbs. And the same thing goes back with the smoke. If you're on an investigation, the idea would be not to smoke. But once again, this, if you look at these pictures, and of course at our website at www.esps.co.cc, you'll be able to see these up close and see them a little bit better. But we did this not because we fake evidence, because we make sure that we do not mistake anything for paranormal that's not. We try to debunk everything that we possibly capture is debunked, analyzed, run through filtration, everything else to make sure that our photos and our audio are all where they should be as far as paranormal or not. Moving right along here, we're going to go down to this next one, and what you get here, these are vortexes. Anybody looking at this would say, wow, this is a huge orb, and it's moving with speed. You can see the trail behind it. That is hair. That's a strand of hair. This vortex right here also, it looks like a red beam of light is just shooting down from the ceiling into the floor in the lounge area here, and what we got here is that's a strand of hair. So if you're on your investigations and you're taking photos and you have long hair, the idea is to pull your hair back. If you're on an investigation and you're taking photos, you want to make sure that you don't smoke while you're on an investigation and you're shooting photos. You also want to make sure that when you do take a photo, let's say you're taking a picture and you go to take your shot, you hold your breath in the cold weather so you're not blowing out smoke because you get mist on that picture. There's a lot more that we could go over, but of course you'd have to go to www.esps.co.cc to get a better look at these. And we've even got some other images on it that you might want to check out. But all in all, today's conversation and what we talked about today is be sure that you're not getting false positives and thinking that they're paranormal and publishing that or putting that on the internet or showing it to people as paranormal, evidence of paranormal. Make sure so that your credibility remains intact and the field of parapsychology and paranormal investigation stays intact by only presenting what you have tested and debunked as far as possible as you can before presenting it as paranormal. Once again, be safe, thorough, and open-minded from ESPS, that's East Sussex Paranormal Society, and have a good day. Thanks.